Hello, and welcome back to Coin Lady channel. XRP has witnessed a large uptick in consumer interest over the past week. So, here are some data points we thought you might find interesting. Here, open interest and XRP are used to assign a value to a hypothetical situation. Users of our future services Beachery are currently holding more than $321 million in USDT of XRP, a sum that has increased steadily since mid-October. The following chart displays the percentage of users who are long on this asset, which is 91%. With this surge in demand, XRP/USDT has surpassed all other futures trading pairs in terms of weekly growth. Please manage your investments carefully and pay attention to the dangers involved if you now own or intend to hold this asset in the near future. You guys probably noticed the market is moving quite a bit, so if you want to see when I trade, I'll be talking about my targets and keeping an eye on certain coins to see if they moon prematurely, which is good because we can pocket some profits before the rest of the market really booms. Allow me to examine the secondary coin market. Let me update the tally to the present moment. Even Total 2, which is all of altcoins, is up about 11%, 12%, 13%, let's call it since last week. So the market is really moving, and we're seeing it even on the bid through exchange specifically, and I'm sure this extends to many other different exchanges as well. That's some juicy information that we might want to keep to ourselves and use in future deals. Apparently, there is it looks like some malware XRP wallet. Some has issued a critical warning to its users as bad actors continually devise new ways of preying on unsuspecting investors. The XRP ledger base, some has notified it. This was posted by DJ Peter VAs. So, fellas, tread lightly when you hear about hacks such as the time the guy came out and said, "All my cryptos are gone from my ledger." The issue isn't with the ledger itself. People fall victim to hackers when they download poorly performing apps from the Chrome Web Store under the false impression that they are using an official software from a reputable company. The moment you click on one of these links, they steal your cryptocurrency. Make sure you have a place to store your cryptocurrency. I know Ledger just provided me a discount code for the Orange Ledger Nano S Plus that will save you 30% on Bitcoin, but you only have until the end of October to take advantage of it. The discount is 35% if you use the affiliate link in the video description, which is optional. However, I strongly recommend that you purchase a cold storage solution as soon as possible, as the market is heating up. And you have no interest in retrieving your $10,000. By the way, I'm only spitballing a number when I say that your $10,000 investment might go up to $100,000 or $200,000. This is why I constantly recommend people have some kind of cold storage solution. Now, the same issues are appearing with the summary, which warns again that the company currently does not provide a browser plugin and has no plans to do so. They claim to have discovered a phony version of a plugin. Alright, so this is the initial warning, and it wants to steal all of your money and secrets. There is no browser plugin available, and there never will be. Your money is secured and stored on your own phone. That's why they won't bother you for passwords or secret phrases. You can know these folks are hackers and scammers because they ask for sensitive information like passwords and PINs when you first open the app. If you want to keep moving along ISO 2022, let's do it here. Posted this Ripple partner, Standard Charter in Deutsche Bank, so to Ripple partners here, blockchain network, to send messages on a permissioned blockchain, and yeah, you can find my affiliate link in the description of the video for the Ledger shop. To implement stablecoin payments via the UDP and blockchain, they have begun this new endeavor. To that end, Deutsche Bank and Ripple Standard Charter have announced the completion of the UDPM's first proof of concept, which intends to link payments across different CBDCs and blockchain networks by employing messages analogous to SWIFT. However, the UVPN was developed by Red Date Technology, the co-founder of the Chinese blockchain-based service networks, and it has been developing UDP and in partnership with consultant GFT, making it an alternative to SWIFT for institutional exchange of messages. Also, the DLA Piper Digital Asset Program. Even Toko had a hand in this. Interoperability between stable coins is now enabled mostly through centralized crypto exchanges. However, There are other participants in this space, see this for more. Because of the lack of control and regulation from exchanges, this is not a workable approach for making CBDC and deposit tokens interoperable. Furthermore, know your customer regulations must be enforced before digital currency can gain widespread acceptance. Therefore, they must think about the global regulations for crypto and exchanges. This product is being made to be compatible with others. Naturally, we need them to know that our and their customers can send funds using any blockchain, not just the SE Ventures Deutsche Bank Pilot's proprietary software. In a similar transaction that took place during the trial Standard Charters, SC Ventures sent and received a number of synthetic USDC and euros or status, euro stable coin, to and from Deutsche Bank wallets in real time. So, SC Investments employed SDK code that takes advantage of UDP. Deutsche Bank employed a GUI in addition to application programming interfaces. So, I'll just talk briefly about the technology involved, but these folks, the Ripple partners, are also building a network. They go out of their way to stress that this blockchain solution will work with others. And I think it's safe to say that there are at least a dozen potential explanations for it. Just wanted to say thanks for posting that on ISO 2002 too. I also wanted to mention the recent development of the James K. file. I first reported this news yesterday, and today it has been confirmed by Judge Torres. The case against Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larsen has been officially dismissed on her directive. So, this is it. This is what has been agreed upon. XRP community watchdog Fred Rispoli comments, the signed order from Judge Torres just came in granting a stipulation of dismissal, and that all sounds fine and good on the surface. So it's official, but there are some caveats to keep in mind. But hear what Fred has to say about this. When I first read the stipulation, I didn't realize that the parties only agreed to dismiss Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larsen from the institutional sales claim if and only if the judge decided in favor of Ripple's on programmatic sales and other distributions. Claims in those two classes automatically expired after that, but the SEC might theoretically bring them back if it successfully appeals and has the PS and ODXRP transactions voided. This dismissal is with prejudice, meaning that Brad and Chris can never again be sued based on the institutional sales premise, even if the SEC ultimately prevails on appeal. Now he is wondering if the dismissal was poorly drafted because it only included institutional sales. However, he later adds, I doubt it. This seems like more evidence that the SEC is going to crunch the statistics, as Water T would say, and finally put an end to this. So, Fred Rispoli makes an intriguing comment when Muna asks, not sure that I understand what you're trying to say or point that you're trying to make. And Fred Rispoli would like to elaborate. If I were Brad and Chris, I would have insisted that all of the claims be thrown out, not just the ones related to institutional sales. So that's what was written in this rough draft. I'll put a link to this in the video's description so you may read it if you want. According to the draft, even if the SEC is successful in its appeal of the other sales finding, it can still file suit against Brad and Chris in respect to the other two categories. Therefore, they are not completely safe or out of danger just yet. This is something that Sherry here agrees with. Just a note from Sherry to Fred Rispoli. Twitter concurred. Do we really need a 50% win to settle? I think the only reason the SEC filed the interlocutory appeal was because they didn't agree with Taurus. That's what I was thinking, actually, so they might have gone with that while debating whether or not to fire RDS down here. If the SEC was serious about reaching a settlement soon, after giving the dismissal away for free, it seems like Ripple only has a 50% incentive to settle now, unless the SEC wanted to remove the financial burden of preparing for trial while negotiating, in which case they would have been better off using the dismissal as part of a settlement to increase the settlement amount, as you and Sherry mentioned below, my emphasis, which is in line with my own reasoning. This is certainly an intriguing viewpoint. Is this a strategy you're aware of that will, or has the potential to, resuscitate the SEC? Regardless, we have to look at the facts. Guys, we have to look at the dates. Jack the Ripper posting this and a letter sent by the SEC to Judge Torres also hinted that a potential settlement could happen by November the 9th. So will we see this finally wrapped up by November the 9th? XRP price has been climbing. Optimistic outcomes are to be anticipated alongside this wave. Come November, when the SEC Ripple lawsuit saga, which has lasted for over 3 years, may finally be resolved. And then it provides a scant few details over here. So far, neither party has indicated that they hope the upcoming meeting would lead to a resolution of the litigation. Jeremy Hogan provided his evaluation, and I've embedded a video of me discussing Hawkins' evaluation of Hogan above. But there's something else I think we should pay attention to, the fact that, at long last, we have an official declaration from Judge Torres clearing Brad and Chris. After the SEC's appeal was refused by Judge Torres last week, the lawsuit against Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple, and Chris Larson, co-founder of Ripple, was dismissed with prejudice last Thursday. This year's most pivotal day for investors is currently November 9th. According to a letter the SEC issued to Judge Torres, the regulators plan to meet and confer with Ripple at that time. Now that the deadline for a possible settlement has been set for November 9th, everyone is keeping a close eye on the situation. This is a very humorous coincidence, and it's worth noting because Brett Hill reported it. A decision will be made soon after the 20th of November, when the new system becomes live. I have faith in XRP and Ripple's capacity to pull off this massive undertaking because of their extensive preparation for it. All in all, he seems to be posting fine, and the integration and release date implementation are occurring roughly 2 weeks after the November 9th deadline. Therefore, if they can reach a consensus and settle the issue, XRP's utility in the United States can be completely explored. What I mean is on a worldwide scale. That's not a snag at all. The United States is crucial to the success of this plan, as seen by the inclusion of numerous American financial institutions, including JP Morgan Chase, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Citibank, and the Federal Reserve, on this list for a rollout scheduled for November 2023. It's all really intriguing, so let's see if we can reach a settlement by November 9th. This one comes to us courtesy of Michael Branch on Twitter, but it was originally shared by John Dean. According to Deaton, a precedent might be set for crypto companies if the SEC loses its appeal against the Ripple. Are they prepared to surrender their bargaining power and establish such a precedent? To my mind, Ripple is now in a much more advantageous position than before. Particularly noteworthy is that the crypto community has been anticipating the SEC's next step, with many enthusiasts believing that this action signals either an impending settlement or a swifter appeal. Most observers assume that the SEC abandoned its allegations against Ripple's in order to promptly challenge the company's success. Therefore, notable XRP holder Andrew Spear-Reza questioned crypto law creator John Deaton, and John Deaton did comment here, if the SEC would set a precedent for the larger crypto market if it lost on appeal. He pointed out that a precedent created by the SEC's potential loss on appeal would weaken the regulator and encourage crypto-related enterprises to fight more aggressively against the Commission's negative enforcement measures. According to John Dean, Annalisa Torres has already explained that she is basing her decision on the case on the Howey test. John Deaton has stated that if the SEC is unsuccessful in appealing the finding, it will be easy for them to claim that the ruling only relates to Ripple and XRP because no other cryptocurrency projects have the same facts. That, then, is how John Dean sees it. But it doesn't mean the precedent can't be used in other crypto case scenarios. We've seen it, after all. Coinbase and, I believe, libraries have already attempted to use the ruling from the Ripple action as precedent in their own cases. Guys, we may have triumphed in this particular engagement, but the war goes on. Last thing I wanted to highlight is that chips have begun implementing ISO 2022, but the market isn't reflecting that. As before, this time frame covers the years November 2023 to April 2020. Thanks to Mr. Man on Twitter for this one. This person can be found on the Clearinghouse website, so take note. As of February, TCH has pushed out the implementation of chips compliant with ISO 2002:2 to April of 2024. The timeframe from November 23 to April 24 is quite promising. They further mention that, beginning on May 6, 2023, vendors will be able to conduct test runs of the FIN plus ITB future services. There were scheduled updates to the translation gateway in June and July, but those dates have already come and gone. However, gentlemen, the full rollout won't occur until November 2023, just around the corner, all the way up until April 2024. Again, I can't help but wonder whether this was timed to coincide with Bitcoin's recent surge in price. After all, once the market has more liquidity, everyone stands to gain, both users in the real world and US crypto speculators. That's simply how I feel. I'm interested in your opinions. Please consider becoming a subscriber. Like the video if you enjoy the information I'm sharing with you. Your feedback is always welcome. See you later, bye.